Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into our lesson on operations management in hospitality and tourism. We're going to completely peel back the curtain on our favorite resorts, bustling commercial bakeries, and five-star hotels to witness the actual magic trick of hospitality. I mean, we all love going out and being taken care of, right? But behind every great guest experience is a complex, meticulously designed engine. Just think about the synchronized chaos of a resort kitchen during a dinner rush, or the lightning-fast turnaround of an airplane cabin between flights. It always looks effortless to us, but trust me, it takes some serious operational muscle. Picture this. You're sitting at your absolute favorite restaurant, ready to order. You expect your meal to hit a few very specific marks, don't you? You're expecting it to be delicious, totally fresh, served quickly, prepared exactly to your liking, and of course, affordable. When you're sitting at that table, everything just feels completely effortless. But have you ever stopped to consider the sheer statistical improbability of a flawless restaurant meal? When you factor in the chaos of a high-end commercial kitchen, the intense heat, the exact timing required to fire dishes so they hit the pass at the precise same second, plus the coordination of the waitstaff, it's honestly almost a miracle. How on earth do these businesses consistently deliver this seamless experience day in and day out? Section 1. The reveal. Defining operations management. Okay, let's dive into this. The secret engine behind this everyday hospitality magic is something called operations management. So what exactly is operations management, or OM? Basically, it's the intricate process of planning, organizing, directing, and controlling the activities involved in producing goods and delivering services efficiently and effectively. Simply put, it's the essential management of the processes that create the products and services we love to consume. When a business gets this right, they reduce waste, lower their operating costs, drastically increase productivity, and gain a massive competitive advantage. In tourism, where margins can be notoriously thin, mastering OM is literally the difference between a thriving business and a bankrupt one. It's all about making absolutely sure that resources, like people, materials, equipment, and technology, all work together perfectly. Let's anchor this in a familiar real-world example. Think about McDonald's and their massive global scale. Their operations management relies heavily on standardized recipes, lightning-fast service, tight inventory control, rigorous employee training, and strict quality assurance. But honestly, it goes so much deeper than just handing out a recipe book. Think about the exact temperature of the fry vats being calibrated to the millisecond. Consider the physical layout of the prep station. It's meticulously designed to save a cook just 2 seconds of walking time per burger. Because they've dialed in this micro-level operations management, a customer in Tokyo and a customer in New York can enjoy the exact same consistent quality. That level of intense consistency, that is pure operations management at work. Let's move on to Section 2, the mechanics, goods versus services. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the direct contrast between a physical good and a service, specifically because of the unique frictions they cause in hospitality. Goods are tangible. They can be stored, and they're produced long before you even use them. Take a freshly baked loaf of bread in a commercial bakery, for instance. If the baker burns the bread, they just toss it before the customer ever sees it. There's a safety buffer there. But services. Services are intangible. You can't store them on a shelf. The real risk, and honestly the most fascinating part, is that services are produced and consumed simultaneously. Think about checking into a hotel. The service of you arriving and getting your room is happening at the exact same moment the hotel is providing it. If a massive system crash happens, it happens while the frustrated guest is standing right there at the desk staring at you. Managing that simultaneous production without a safety buffer is exactly what makes hospitality so high stakes. Which brings us to Section 3, the transformation process. Whether a business is creating a physical good, like that loaf of bread, or a service, like an incredible night at a resort, it completely relies on a core engine. We call this the transformation process. Let's walk through this using a real tourism setting. Imagine an airline flight preparing for takeoff. Everything starts with inputs. This is your raw material, your highly trained crew, the millions of dollars tied up in the aircraft, the jet fuel, the technology, the flight data. Then we move into the process. This is where the actual operations management kicks in. We're actively transforming those inputs by navigating the skies, serving in-flight meals, managing turbulence, and ensuring safety. Finally, we reach the outputs. The result is the final product, a safely delivered passenger. But notice the ultimate end goal here? Customer satisfaction. A memorable, safe, and comfortable vacation is the true output of this entire transformation process. Now for Section 4, the operators, functions, and objectives. Of course, this transformation engine doesn't just run on autopilot. We need to talk about the specific roles of the operations manager. They're the crucial operators actively steering this ship every single day. Managers execute their roles through this ongoing high-stakes balancing act of four key functions. First up, planning, figuring out what should be produced, how much, and exactly when. Second, organizing, arranging resources effectively. Third, directing, leading and motivating employees while solving unpredictable problems on the fly. And fourth, controlling, making sure everything meets strict quality and cost standards. Imagine a manager dealing with a hotel overbooking crisis. In a single hour, they've got to plan a solution, organize transportation to a partner hotel, direct the front desk staff on how to gracefully handle the guests, and control the financial costs of those comped rooms. That's those four functions in action happening all at once. So why are they doing all those daily functions? It's to hit four main objectives: quality, speed, dependability, and cost. First, quality, meaning providing products that meet exact expectations. Second, speed, delivering them quickly. Third, dependability, delivering them consistently every time. And fourth, cost, minimizing any unnecessary expenses. But here's the real insider insight. There's an inherent tension here. We call it the operations management trade-off. Maximizing speed usually threatens quality. I mean, if a chef cooks too fast, the steak burns, right? And maximizing quality often threatens cost. If you're buying the absolute finest ingredients, your profit margins shrink. The true magic of operations management is hitting the bullseye on all four of these conflicting objectives simultaneously. And this brilliantly illustrates the toolkit managers use to hit those objectives. We call them the 5 Ps of operations management: people, plants, parts, processes, and planning and control systems. You can frame these as a toolkit for crisis management. If an airline is dealing with a massive weather delay, the operations manager has to pull one of these levers. Do they swap the people by bringing in a fresh flight crew so they don't time out? Do they change the plant by swapping out the actual physical airplane? Do they tweak the process to board faster? Or rely on their planning systems to reroute passengers to other hubs? These 5 Ps are the structural foundation every hospitality manager relies on to solve real-time problems.
Moving into Section 5, operations across hospitality sectors.
So we've covered the academic frameworks. Now let's apply this directly to the real world and see what this actually looks like. Think about the stark difference in pace and focus between different hospitality settings. In a motel, operations rely heavily on quiet, proactive maintenance. It's all about reservations, managing the front office flow, housekeeping, and facilities. The atmosphere is designed to be super calm for the guest, but the back-end operations are incredibly robust. Now shift over to a restaurant. The operations totally change to a loud, reactive, intense food production line focused on purchasing, inventory, and rapid-fire customer service. And then look at a bakery. Their operations are entirely centered on the physical product assembly. We're talking mixing massive vats of ingredients, industrial baking, decorating, packaging, and selling. The 5 Ps apply to absolutely all of them, but the daily reality on the floor is completely specialized to that specific sector. Finally, let's look at Section 6, the future, trends and challenges. As smooth as we want this all to be, we have to acknowledge that running these seamless hospitality operations isn't easy, especially in today's crazy, fast-paced world. Managers are facing an intense gauntlet of major challenges: rising costs, severe labor shortages, sky-high customer expectations, rapid technological changes, sustainability demands, and incredibly unpredictable supply chain disruptions. And these hurdles, they don't happen in a vacuum. They compound. Imagine a sudden supply chain disruption, like a massive linen shortage, hitting a resort at the exact same time as an ongoing labor shortage in the housekeeping department. That combination completely bottlenecks operations. It delays room turnarounds, frustrates waiting guests, and seriously threatens that entire magic trick of hospitality we talked about earlier. But the industry is definitely fighting back with modern solutions that are actively shaping its future. Today's businesses are heavily upgrading their operations toolkit. We're seeing artificial intelligence dynamically adjusting hotel room prices by the minute to maximize revenue based on local events. We're seeing automation like robot concierges delivering extra towels to guest rooms to reduce the strain on limited human labor. Businesses are adopting sustainable operations and green supply chains not just to protect the environment, but to meet modern consumer demands. And through digital transformation and lean management, hospitality leaders are finding incredibly innovative new ways to cut waste and boost that all-important customer satisfaction.
Which brings us to the end of our explainer. I want to leave you with one final provocative thought. What operations happen inside a hotel? The next time you walk into a hotel lobby, don't just see a beautiful room. Look closer. Challenge yourself to spot the inputs, the diverse staff, the technology running the desk. Observe the processes, the seamless check-in, the invisible flow of housekeeping, and truly feel the outputs, the impeccable service, your own satisfaction. The operational magic is happening all around you, hiding right in plain sight. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and I'll catch you in the next one.